been drawing and coloring and that kind of stuff since I was a little bitty kid, and I always did it. And so when I was, a lot of times when I got in trouble in grade school and that kind of thing, it was usually because I was drawing instead of doing my classwork.
Right.
When I was in my early 20s, my older brother, who had gotten to go to school and was in law school, um, kept trying to encourage me to paint. And I kept saying, I don't think I could do color. I can draw, but I don't know about doing color. But anyway, so he kept trying to aggravate me into trying to paint. And finally, I tried to paint. And, you know, I started off, I did an acrylic painting, was the first thing I did. I did, I think, 2 of those or something. Then I was wanting to know about watercolor. I got started in watercolor, and I painted in watercolor for 20-some years.
Well,
You want a brief history or a big long?
No.
And I didn't understand that the great artists looked at things to draw them. They didn't just, just didn't think of it in their mind to draw it. Although I didn't realize that people, that was legitimate.
Mhm.
And so I didn't think of myself as being that good because I had to look at stuff to draw it. Well, I kept asking her, how does he get this to look like that? How does he? And she kept saying to me, "Are you sure you've never painted?" No, I've never painted. She's like, "Are you sure you've never painted?" And so, but I kept asking her about how does he, and she's like, "Well, he's doing watercolor and you're doing acrylic, so you're going to have differences," which is really true. And I about drove her crazy, and trying to reproduce his look in watercolor with acrylics about drove me crazy. And so I took this class for like 3 weeks. It was one day a week for like 4 weeks or something. It was just an introduction kind of thing. So I took that, and at the end of it, she comes out and she says, Bill Mangum is doing a workshop for one day it was over at Wake Forest. Why don't you go over there and take that? And I go over there, I've never painted watercolor before. And then I started asking him, okay, I took that painting to him, how do you paint? How did you do this? And he started showing me how to paint watercolor. So I took that from him, and he said, look, you just got to go home and paint. That's what he did, so you just got to go home and keep doing it. And so that's how I got started. So, my approach to learning to paint in oil is the same as watercolor. Buy yourself some oils, get yourself some brushes, and start painting. And so that's what I did. And then once I got into doing the oil, when you start painting with the oil, just the fluidity of it and the texture, it's a sensual medium. You feel it when you paint with it. And so I just love that. And so I started painting with that stuff, and I was just like, my wife thought I had a mistress tied up in the studio, because it is so, I just love to do it.
Mhm.
And so, that's how I got started in it. And I still do some watercolors now every once in a while, but oil is my favorite, by far, my favorite medium.
That's good. That's good.